Hey, Lindsay, how are you?
Fantastic, Michelle. How are you? How's it going?
I'm good. Want to hear something wild?
Yeah, of course.
We've been podcasting together for over 10 years.
That's so wild. I can't even believe it. It's so
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
We must love
Unbelievable.
podcasting.
We must. So today we are going to talk about the word wild, which came up on a recent episode of Business English, I believe. But yeah, we're going to talk about this because it's such a common word. And Lindsay, you mentioned that you feel it's pretty trendy, right?
Yeah, I like to observe, what words people are using. So it feels like people are using this a lot nowadays to emphasize, just to put emphasis on something. Do you agree?
Yes. And I realized even since planning this episode that I've used it several times.
Nice.
And it's just very common, I think for sure.
Even more than like 5 years ago or 7 years ago when we first started this show. I don't think it was trending then, and now it is. So there you go.
There you go.
We like to keep our listeners updated on what's trending. So that's why you guys should go ahead and hit the follow button right here on All Ears English. So don't miss a single episode of our show. We publish 5 days a week, including Sassy Saturdays. So we'll be your companion if you're walking your dog in the park or wherever you're headed, maybe going to the beach in the summertime. Go ahead and hit the follow button on All Ears English wherever you are listening, or subscribe on YouTube. All right?
Yes.
Good.
Perfect. All right. So let's get to it, Lindsay. So wild has many definitions, but the main one that we're going to talk about today means surprising or crazy or shocking or incredible in some way.
Yeah, we're taking out the wild that means wild animals.
Right.
From the zoo or like in like a safari in Africa or something. But I did recently rewatch the movie Wild with Reese Witherspoon. Have you seen the movie?
No, you've talked about it before. No, I've never.
Okay. Have you read the book?
No.
Yeah. I recommend both. I think the book's better, but for some reason, I must have been really emotional when I watched the movie because I just bawled this time that I watched the movie. It's good. It's good. I mean, it's a good story. And I think the use of that word in that title means two things. I think it means wild, like she was hiking the Pacific Crest Trail. But so there was wild animals. It was wild. She was living in the wild, but she was also like she had a wild heart kind of in a way. And like she had wild feelings about her mother's death. The complexity going on inside of her was also kind of wild. So it's kind of a double use of that meaning of that title. So my point is the word wild is used in a lot of other ways that we're not talking about today, but we'll get into the trendy way it's being used now. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So let's talk about some context. I mean, one way would be to introduce a story, right? So when I said, want to hear something wild, right? It's, I said, about it. So I'm basically saying you want to hear something incredible or crazy or shocking in some way. So let's do a little role play here. So Lindsay, want to hear something wild?
Yeah.
Kinsley is selling her house.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah. So you're just kind of saying, whereas maybe 10 years ago, you might have said, want to hear something crazy or want to hear something interesting. But now you're saying, want to hear something wild, right? It's trendy. It's trendy. Yeah?
What's another way that you might hear it?
To react to something. Right? So we need to have an appropriate reaction when someone says something to us. So for example, I can't remember the last time I had chocolate. I've been trying to avoid sugar and I feel so much better.
That's wild. Good for you. So that's wild is a common way to react. So it doesn't here. I'm not saying it's not a negative thing. I'm just saying, that's wild. Like, that's so interesting. That's so incredible.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And you might be saying a little something about yourself too. Like, I would say that because I don't think I could really just eliminate sugar. No.
Right.
I like my ice cream too much. So some of it, our choice of this word might be saying for us, that's really crazy. Like, not crazy, but like, that's really extreme. Right.
Right. Yes, exactly. So there, it could have a lot of kind of undertones here. But basically you're saying that's wow. It's like,
right. Because
it's just another way of saying, wow.
It's like saying, wow, because if you're also giving up sugar and someone says that to you, you're not going to say that's wild. You're going to say, oh, I get it. Right. I totally get it.
Right. Yes.
So Yeah. It says a little something about you too in some contexts, I think.
I mean, and the other way you can use it is to describe something. So here you might say it's wild, right?
Yeah. So for example, so what has it been like at your new job?
I really like it. I'm not used to such a positive work environment. It's wild.
So you're emphasizing here that's really different from what you had before.
Right. It's
a
unique.
stark
It's
contrast.
incredible. It's contrast. Right. Exactly. So, it's a very versatile word, can have a lot of meanings.
I agree. Really useful, actually. That's why it's trending.
Yep.
All right, Michelle, we are back. I mean, and so we're going into these other meanings of wild that I sort of touched on when I talked about the title of that book/movie with Reese Witherspoon. Right. What would be one?
Well, also would be like uncontrolled, right? So, I mean, that is where actually that's coming up later. So, but uncontrolled, maybe a little crazy, a little hectic. So my kids go wild anytime they are near candy.
Yeah. And this ties in with what I was saying earlier, because the main character, Cheryl Strayed, I'm sure some of our listeners have read the book or seen the movie. She had problems with drugs, and she kind of had she had a wild period in her life, right? Where she was out of control.
Out of control.
Yeah. Another piece here would be energetic or lots of emotion, right? To go wild, right? To go wild. So her family went wild when the dean called her name for graduation. So is this a good thing or a bad thing?
This is a good thing. So here they're cheering. You know, when you've been to a graduation ceremony, and there's some families that just go wild. Some are just clapping, and some go woo with their signs, and it's always kind of fun to see those reactions. But I mean, wild. I mean, it could also be a bad thing, actually, which I didn't really like. Oh, he went wild when I told him that I got fired.
I mean,
right? It's he acted out of control, right? The more the uncontrolled or crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about with raising kids. When kids have a meltdown, that could work for that situation, I suppose, right? If the kid's just screaming, he's like, "No, I want my ice cream." He went wild. That could fit there. Or an adult could also have their own version of that. Adults need to cry it out sometimes too.
Exactly. Like an adult temper tantrum, or just yelling at someone, or whatever it may be. And then this goes back to the one, Lindsay, that you've been talking about, out in the wild. So this is about not being domesticated, a wild animal. So you have to be careful because there are wild animals. So there's a lot here, and we might even be doing a follow-up. We'll see. But
nice.
The way that we wanted to focus on this is that first definition, right?
Yes.
The reacting, the trendy ways. But we did want to bring to light some of the other ways that it might be used.
Yes.
So you got a full picture of this word, and maybe we'll do more with this in the future.
And kind of a more techie, trendy way that I've seen wild being used in the subcategory of not domesticated is sometimes when people are making technology products, they talk about the use of the product in the wild. That doesn't mean the product's going out and to hike the Pacific Crest Trail with the bears. Right. It means in the natural environment of users, right?
And not even just in a techie way, but sometimes, I might say I might even say to you I've heard that expression in the wild. It's
sure. In your uncontrolled daily life, nothing that's a staging environment in any way, right?
Yes.
So that's kind of a little asterisk for our listeners that really want this niche meaning here. So good. Should we do a role play, Michelle?
Let's do it. Okay, so we're not going to use all because that would be wild.
Good one.
Here we go. We're meeting for the first time in a long time, and we're friends.
That sounds wild. Let's do it.
It sounds wild.
So All right, go for it. All right.
Lindsay. Oh my gosh, when's the last time I saw you?
Oh my gosh, I think it was 4 years ago.
That's wild.
I know. I just can't believe it.
Seriously, when I told Tony we were meeting, he went wild. He was so excited. He misses you too.
Want to hear something wild?
Always.
I might have a job opportunity in your area.
Ah! It was supposed to sound like I'm happy, not scared, but I think I sounded a little too scared.
And this could fit for like coincidences. It reminds me of the time when I ran into my like best friend from high school in the airport in Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris.
Oh, wow.
My partner and I were traveling there, and her family were coming, and like we were just in the same airport on the same flight at the same time randomly. That was wild. Wow. You know,
wild.
These are contexts.
that is wild. There's so, I mean, it's that's why people love this word, because it just can be used for everything.
It's everywhere.
Good, bad, surprising. Right?
Don't become the person that uses it too much. Of course, don't be the wild person that's constantly dropping it. Right?
But don't go wild with wild.
Don't go wild with wild. Oh, I love it. That might be our title for today.
Maybe it will be. Yeah.
Let's break it down, Michelle. So, what did you say first?
I said, when's the last time I saw you? And you said, I think it was 4 years ago. And I said, that's wild. So what do I mean by that?
That's crazy. I can't believe it means you're saying I can't believe how fast the time's gone by.
Yeah. And it's been so long
that we didn't see each other for so long. You could be saying a few different things, but you're just saying you're shocked. You're shocked about the fact that it's been 4 years. Okay. And then I said, I know, I can't believe it. And then you said, seriously, when I told Tony we were meeting, he went wild. So how did he react, Michelle? What did he do?
So this is interesting. I mean, like it depends on our tone of voice and the information we give next. So it could be that Tony hates you, right? I could say that, when I told Tony we were meeting, he went wild. Like it could be like so he yelled and like got so angry. Yeah. But here I said he went wild. He was so excited. He misses you too. So you really got to listen for that context.
That's true. This is a word that can really go in a lot of different directions. Yes. So it's context. And then I said, I want to hear something wild. Now I'm saying you want to hear something unexpected. Right?
Yes. Yeah. And then you said you might have a job opportunity in my area. So I'm excited.
Nice. I love it. This is such an important episode that we did today. Yeah. Because I'm sure our listeners are hearing this everywhere now. You know, here in 2026, maybe next year it'll be gone. But for now, we can ride the wave of the trend, of the wild trend.
The wild trend.
What's another episode our listeners could check out?
Guys, check out episode 2570. That was Settle In with Lindsay and Michelle.
Nice. And I mean, that is the takeaway. We want to bring you not just long time phrases that are always going to build connection, but also trendy phrases can build connection too, because there's this like identifying with someone else. When you use a trendy phrase, you feel closer to someone because you recognize that phrase in a way. It's hard to articulate that, but I think our listeners know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So this builds connection too. There you go.
Yeah. Well, this was fun, Lindsay. And again, guys, maybe we'll do some more on this word in the future. So definitely hit follow. And thanks for talking about this with me today.
All right. Good stuff today, Michelle. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.
All right. You too.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.